In today's series, I'm going to show you why the Genesis GV80 3.5 twin-turbo V6 is the variant you would like to get when you're looking at competition like BMW, Mercedes, Audi. Genesis of Newport Richey has given us the 2023 to showcase to you, starting with the quad LED headlamps and daytime runnings. They don't stop there. The side panel gets the LED turn signals, quad setup also, so it just gives the distinct look of the brand with the enlarged grille that brushes into the gloss black on the lower with a touch of gloss black to give us over 8 inches of clearance, which is better than BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. Genesis badging just flows over the whole hood, brushing into a broad shoulder layout. The side panels are the same color as the body with the chrome surrounding on the side edges with your side air curtain. I like the dominant stance, and it sets up a little bit more when you're comparing it to BMW and Mercedes. The Prestige package adds these 20-inch wheels. 14.9-inch front disc reading. The rear's at a 14.2-inch. They're both ventilated with a length at 194.7 inches, a wheelbase at 116.3 inches, electronically controlled suspension, fully independent suspension. Because this is the all-wheel drive, we have the front and rear lockers, lower roof spoiler with the gloss black, and I do like how everything is pushed inwards to give more of a dynamic stance to the rear exit. It has a wider track at over 66 inches, quad LED taillights, satin aluminum around your reflector, dual exhaust outlets with gloss black that's going to surround it, towing up to 6,000 pounds, which is not going to be the best in class, but again, the bargain that you're getting, you could pretty much let some of these things slide. In 6,000 pounds, you could still tow a boat or a couple jet skis. Going inside, power liftgate, 34.9 cubic feet. It is going to be lifted up, and it is a wider entrance, and it widens out inside with a 12 volt. Underneath, you'll have some storage that you can put the privacy cover. Fold that open, and more storage with a nook on the side, LED interior lights, power, split fold, the rear bench at a 40-20-40 split or a 60-40 split, increasing cargo to 84 cubic feet with everything to the driver and passenger seat. Cargo is the best in class. This is a twin turbo V6 from Genesis. We gotta go inside, give it some revs so you can hear that exhaust note. And they backed the performance with a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, producing 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 18 to 23 mpgs for the all-wheel drive. Going inside the GV80, which has a little bit of clearance because you're over 8 inches. Headroom starts at 40.2 inches. Legroom, 38.4 inches. What I like about the Genesis is even though this is pretty much higher up than some of the competition, they still give you a pass-through with a 12-volt charger. You're not losing some of that storage capacity. 18-way power seat adjustment, heated, ventilated, perforated, massage, ergo motion for the driver, memory for the driver. Genesis takes the same design as all vehicles. So the back door panels, the front door panels, everything goes into the dashboard. It is a flat dashboard that incorporates a 14.5-inch touchscreen with navigation, heads-up display, contrast stitching. The air vents will be underneath, giving a 2-tier layout with a digital reader that is touch-derived. And you get some physical knobs to turn up and down your climate control. Dual climate control in the front. The touchscreen has navigation with the pinch and the swipe. It does have a little bit of a lip here, so you kind of go up, click over here, and you can have a 2-screen setup. Click the home, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. Passenger talk, which is similar to cabin talk for the backseat occupants because this is a longer vehicle. So it's kind of the same as Honda setup. What I like about the seat setting though is when you touch them, it goes onto the side. BMW will cover the whole screen. So here it's a little bit more user friendly. Working into a wireless charging pad, USB port, and a storage compartment right here in which you can close up and you'll see the wood trim. Rotary knobs for the gear lever and for your infotainment screen. Driver mode select is going to be over here, which is a little bit out of the way, but you do have different driving modes, which when you change it, it will change the digital gauge cluster layout. When you turn your signals on, you will see them indicate on each side that they are on. 2-spoke leather wrap steering wheel, it's heated, multi-function, adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist with the paddle shifters. It's going to be more sporty, but pretty soft for the most part. Open up inside, and to show you the storage is look how many books we can fit in here. So it is a deep storage pocket with a tray that you can adjust, or you can't adjust. So you can put this tray in here to give you a little bit more for your change. Just put all these books back in here. Two-part close. The dashboard and the door panels configure in together. Lexicon premium sound system. It's going to be more everyday materials, wood interior, more sporty for your elbows, one touch up and down for the windows, soft closed doors with acoustic windows. Soft right here, a large storage pocket, and one area for a beverage or bottle holder. Suede headliner, dual panel moonroofs that open up and integrate into each other. For the back seat, Genesis takes luxury to another level. 41.6 inches of headroom, 38.7 inches of legroom. The door panel gets the power sunshades. Everyday materials, Lexicon comes into the back. It's a long armrest holder. It's a little bit more sporty for the elbows. Lexicon in the lower, a smaller storage pocket, not really any beverage holder. 6-way power seat adjustment in the rear. Heated, ventilated. 2 cup holders are obviously going to be in the center. Open this up and you got a storage pocket. It is pretty soft to touch with the 3rd climate control setting, air vents in the center, 2 USB, and a home plug. Storage behind both of the front seats, and this is going to be a little bit more harder material. And if you're sitting into the center, you can move and adjust this passenger seat. And what else would make a luxury car without a mirror to check yourself? Sitting into the center, headroom is still not an issue, nor is leg space. Feet space isn't too bad because I have a pretty sufficient amount. It's a wider vehicle, so even butt and shoulder space isn't going to be the worst. It's going to be a little bit cramped, but it's doable. 375 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque with a twin-turbo V6. Look at this. And you're braking. And to go over speed bumps, over 8 inches of clearance. The Volvo XC90, to get something as powerful, you're talking over $80,000. The same thing when you go into BMW, you're talking over $65,000 to $70,000. Now I know you don't buy this vehicle for performance numbers, but 5.3 seconds is pretty quick numbers. Now obviously the dynamics is not going to be a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. So taking corners, this is more of a top-heavy vehicle. So just be cautious with that. You might want to slow down a little bit. The brakes on them are not as strong as some of the rivals, but the rivals also escalate to a MSRP at $63,000 to $65,000 or even more, in which this doesn't. So you're getting such a savings right there from MSRP to MSRP. Once you add features, obviously this thing escalates the price. Things that I do like right off the bat though is the gauge cluster, full digital reader, and you have the turn signals that show you the cameras of which signal you're using, so that way it's easier for you for blind spot monitoring. You don't have to look on the side view mirror, you can just simply look forward. Your heads-up display, I can't see it at all. I got polarized glasses. The windscreen, I do feel like I'm sitting right on top of it, and I have it at the lowest seat settings. But what I do like is BMW, when you change the seat settings, it covers up the whole infotainment. Here, it just does it on the right side, and you can also take that off and have the full 14.5 inch. So it's a little bit more user-friendly. It's a little bit more out of the way. It should be up closer, and this does lift. But overall, it's good in the sense of luxury. It feels comfortable, nearly 20-way power seat adjustments with massage seats. Storage for the front occupants, because we have the pass-through, that does help because it is a little bit less here and there's a lot going on. Now that's going to take me to some things I like and dislike, and starting off with is what I like. 6-way power seat adjustment in the back, ergo motion seat for the driver, 18-way power seat adjustment, heated ventilated for all occupants, and massage for the front. I mean, at this price point, it's virtually impossible to find any of the rivals to get the same luxury amenities. The second thing that I like, this is the best in class for cargo capacity. So for a daily use, you could do it. On the disadvantage, it does sit up. The last thing that I like is everywhere they do the quad LED setup. So this distinguishes it from the GV70, showing that you got the GV80. 3 things that I dislike: the climate control is facing towards the windscreen and not necessarily facing towards me. Kind of wish that it was changed the direction that it is. The driver mode select will be the second thing, because it's on the passenger side, in which I may never even use it because of where it's actually located. This is the performance that I was talking about. Now, as you get up to a higher speed, the wind noise does escalate quite a bit. The sound deadening is good, but we also have upgraded wheels. The last thing that I dislike is they pay so close attention to detail. They have the diamond stitch here on the center, but they don't have it on the door panels. And then for the rear sunshades, it's as if they left those little clips on the top for a manual sunshade, because there's no need to have them there. Just maybe clean it up a little bit. When you're looking at the rival perspective, nothing is going to configure from the back to the front all the way to the dash panel. Only vehicles that do that is Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia. When you get into the Genesis line, it really does escalate the quality in the materials. It does feel heavier in the pedal, whether you're in sport or eco mode. This is also heavier than the majority of the competition. Turn radius at a stop point is going to get about 2 lanes, which is relatively fine because of the size of the vehicle. Another thing that I noticed is the infotainment screen actually brushes backwards, and it slants more towards the passenger than the driver. It would be nice to have maybe an exhaust note that filters in a little bit when you put it into sport mode, because when you change the dynamics into sport, it does change the gauge cluster, so it makes me feel a little bit more aggressive. But it's a soft drive, 4-wheel independent suspension. You sit up higher, it feels like a lot more ground clearance than 8.1 inches to the way you sit inside. And whenever you enter the vehicle, the seats adjust, and when you close the door, they adjust back. I like to thank Genesis of Newport Richey for giving us this 2023 Genesis GV80 for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video and the subscribe button, check out the merchandise website and Instagram, leave a comment and a like.